I don't know what the hell's going on with the Ravens. Like, it just feels like they can't win unless Lamar Jackson's playing an amazing game. And then, it was reliant on a 67-yard field goal. Please. I mean, even Justin Tucker can't do that. So, it
Yeah,
just,
he basically got the 66, the record that he set earlier in the
yeah.
year. So give him a break, guys.
I know, please. I mean, it's just like when they were in the red zone, what, four times, and they had to, three or four times, they had to kick a field goal. Like, it's hard to win games that way.
But
And you open the door for a more aggressive team that, frankly, has more weapons at skill positions on offense than you do.
you are really seeing the limitations of the Lamar centric offense at the expense of basically any other weapon,
Hmm.
where the run game is suffering in the sense that it's just not they have not been able to get that much out of the run game outside of Lamar rushing. With Bateman out, the pass catching weapons are so much more limited
And
than they
Mark
were
Andrews was
before.
not himself.
Andrews had a bad drop in the end zone.
Hmm.
He was not nearly as much of a focal point as he has been in the past. They were trying to get run out of checkdowns to Patrick Ricard, their 305-pound fullback. I'm like, guys, like that's not gonna make a chunk play.
Oh my
Like
God.
you might get 6 yards out of that.
I
Like
know.
it's not gonna happen. Like the tools that they have at their disposal can only go so far as Lamar can take them, and Lamar is fantastic, but one guy can't anchor or can't carry the entire offense when he doesn't really have that much to work with outside of it. One of the biggest chunk plays down the left sideline, when they said Jackson caught the ball, I said, "Wait, did Lamar catch it himself?" I'm like, "Oh no, right. 35-year-old Deshaun Jackson is still playing professional football."
And thank the Lord that he did not like injure his hamstring on that one play, right? Because it
I
feels
was
like
like,
he gets signed by a team every year midseason,
and it's
plays one
alarming.
snap,
Like
gets pulls his hamstring, and then is out.
it's like a jump scare. I'm like,
I
"Oh
know.
shit, it's Deshaun
Deshaun
Jackson." Oh my
Jackson.
god, right. You're in a Ravens uniform now.
Yeah.
But like that just goes to show you how limited the cupboard is. That it's just there's just not a whole lot to extract from that isn't Lamar on his feet or Lamar kind of making hero plays.
It's kind of an even more extreme version of what I talk about with Josh Allen,
I was
which
just
is
oh my god, I was just gonna say
it is
it is
way
the
too
worst.
dependent
It,
on them. And
it
at
is the
least he has
worst version of
Stephon
the Bills.
Diggs.
It
At
is
least,
the
right.
totally.
And I mean, Lamar has Mark Andrews, but tight ends are better as security blankets than guys that are going to
Uh,
stretch the
and if
field.
you're not Travis Kelsey, it's not as easy to have your tight end be your X receiver.
Yeah, they
It's just not.
need
It's just not the
something.
same.
It's just the offensive line isn't playing as well this year, and he also put on more muscle, Lamar did, and he's not as fast as he has been in previous years. And this is going to continue to happen
Yeah,
as there's more wear and tear. Like you have to adjust the team to and Lamar, I've been saying if he can dice you up in the pocket given the chance, but there's no way for them to make plays on offense if he's not using his legs at this point because as Bradley has been saying, the receiving core is just
and like you were saying with the line,
awful.
Ronnie Stanley not being consistently in a huge factor for
Hmm.
them, just not having consistent left tackle play. They Jawan James, there with a guy who was in for I believe for Stanley at some point, injured week one against the Jets. I mean, they've also just not been able to. The terrible running back injuries that they had last year seemingly are now afflicting some of their other positions,
Right.
unfortunately, in the sense, last year it was Gus Edwards, J.K. Dobbins, both not playing significant stretches. Now the line's not healthy. Kyle Fuller was out. In also from week one, tearing his ACL. So they've definitely been hit by the injury bug, but you're just really seeing the lack of explosiveness that's not coming from Lamar.
Yeah.
And at some point, like you said, I'm pretty certain they'll make the playoffs given where they are. I just think if if I'm a team that's better than the Ravens, I'm not really worried that they're going to play spoiler because I just don't think they have a lot of options to stretch that talent as far as another team can that might be potentially at a lower seed just because of how the season started for them.